Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, water wars may be dead ahead here in the United States of America because the truth of the matter is there are some very questionable things that are happening right now to our water supply that you desperately need to know about. And which leads me to ask the question, is there a drought purposely being constructed by man-made causes here in the United States? Well, before I get into the report, just a quick break. The keto diet is one of the quickest ways to achieve younger looking appearance and burn fat. This diet has shown time and time again through multiple studies that it not only burns belly fat, but it helps flatten your stomach and gives unparalleled anti-aging benefits. The problem with this diet, however, is that following such a strict regimen is nearly impossible for the average person. Eating just one bite of the wrong type of food or supplement can literally reverse the effects of all the hard work that you put into it that particular day. That's why I highly recommend and personally use Keto Elevate Powder. And right now you can get it at ketowithlisa.com. This powder actually gives your body the weight loss benefits as well as the anti-aging benefits that your body can normally reap from ketosis during the keto diet. However, it comes without the strict diet that's attached to keto. Get keto today for up to 51% off by going to ketowithlisa.com. And let me show you how easy it is to take. All you do is you take one scoopful. You can see the scoop here that I have, and you can mix it in your coffee or you can mix it in your shake. Either one will do. And all you do is you just stir it up. It stirs in nice and easy without any major clumps or anything like that, but it goes right in to your coffee and it's pretty much tasteless. So not bad. It tastes great. But it's so easy to check out the site. Let me show you the site. Here it is, ketowithlisa.com, and you can see up to 51% off there. Also, some of the benefits: free shipping, free VIP, live health and fitness coaching for life, and of course, the free ketogenic food book there. So check it out today at ketowithlisa.com. And if you want more information on all of that, it can be found in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast. So just what is happening to our water supply? Well, for that, let's go on over to the liberal state of California that supplies much of our food and water here in the United States of America. Take a look at this first article here, and it's on people.com. Millions of Californians are facing water shortage emergency, severe drought ahead of the wildfire season. So one of the things that are impacting our water right now is a drought, but that's not the only thing. I'm going to dive in a little bit more here, but here we have Business Insider, because with the drought comes food shortages. A mega drought in California is expected to lead to water shortages for production of everything from avocados to almonds and could cause prices to rise. Remember, that's a rise on our food prices, an additional rise on top of all the rises in the supply shortages that we have had over this COVID-19 pandemic. We're talking like major scales of chaos here in our food and water supply. Then we have here, this is on sacramentobee.com. This is how dry things are. California is now warning their farmers about water cutoffs due to drought. So now we have over in California, we have a drought. A drought pretty much hits all the time in California and the western part of the United States of America. In fact, it's not just California that the drought is hitting. It's a good portion of the western part of the United States of America. But that said, I want to hone in right now on California because California is telling their farmers, we're going to withhold the water and cut you off. But it's not, I repeat, not necessarily just because of the drought. There's a little more to the story. And for that, let's go on over to this next article here, because this is what you desperately need to be aware of. And we really have to address the question, what is the government doing with the water? Where is it going? Is it only because of the drought, or is there something else? Well, here it is. And this is on CaliforniaGlobe.com. You can see it up there, but it's facing dry year. California State Water Board is draining California reservoirs. And you can see the date on this, May 21st, 2021, very recently written. But here's what it says. In the last 14 days, 90% of the Delta inflow went to sea. That's equal to a year's supply of water for 1 million people. So in a nutshell, The leadership in the good old-fashioned liberal state of California is dumping the water into the sea amid a drought. Here it is. Diner, a California water expert and farmer, has been warning steadily that water is unnecessarily being let out into the sea as the state faces a normal dry year. I quote, "Are we having a dry year? Yes," they say. "This is normal for us. Should we be having water shortages in the start of our second dry year? No. Our reservoirs were designed to provide a steady 5-year supply for all users and were filled to the top in 2019. Now, here's the actual reservoir chart, and it shows all the reservoirs filled to the top, anywhere between 107% to even 145% full. You can see the little percentages there in yellow, but this is supposed to help the state of California with and when they hit water crisis. But what instead is happening to that water? Well, let's move on a little bit further in the report. And here's what it says. Before our magnificent reservoir project, which you just saw that were built there in California, California never had a steady and reliable supply of water. Now, water is being managed as if those reservoirs do not even exist by emptying the collected water from storage to the sea. Dumping it into the sea rather than saving it for our routinely, dry years. Our water projects were designed to be managed for the long term, providing a minimum 5-year supply. But California has now put us on track to have a man-made drought crisis every time that they don't have a wet season. Now it goes on, even San Francisco is suing the State Water Board because of this. They explain, right? The State Water Board 40% of unimpaired flows plan is too radical, requiring 40% of the river water to flow directly to the ocean without being used for anything else on its way. It severely limits that river supply to Hetch Hetchy, the main water source for San Francisco. This is a major concern. Californians are literally having to conserve water, and the farmers who provide the food supply to millions of people here in the United States of America are getting their water cut off, and they're now having to decide what crops they're going to cut. And as a result, there's a tumble effect of our food prices increasing and skyrocketing. Because there's just not enough food to go around. Why? Not necessarily because of the drought, but because the idiot liberals in California are doing something else by dumping the water into the seas. Now, why would they dump the water into the sea? Good question. Here's their reasoning for that. And take a look here. This is on SacramentoBeat.com. Fisher farmers. Newsom's drought declaration would trigger a new war. Water wars over California water. Newsom, idiot liberal, right, is part of the problem on here. The article goes on to state this, that many farmers believe and are begging and asking for an emergency order to loosen environmental regulations and free up the water supply for them, for humans. Environmental groups fear that the very same thing, that more of California's dwindling water supply could be directed at farming at the expense of fish and wildlife. It goes on, in the last drought, decisions made by state officials to relax environmental standards led to a vast shifting of water to agriculture, while wildlife, including the salmon our industry depends on, were left to die. The debate over a drought declaration underscores a chronic tourism about California water. That's rarely enough of it to make everyone happy, creating an almost endless tug of war that usually pits farmers against fish, fish against farmers. So literally here, the environmentalists and laws and environmental stuff is saying, help the fish, not the humans. In a drought, keep pouring the water into the sea to help fish. That's literally what's going on. I mean, this is the stupidness. And what does the leftist media say about it? Oh, it's big agriculture. Stop the big guy. It's always the same thing. It's always the same excuse. You're only helping rich pockets, but let's just ignore what it's doing to our own food supply and our prices going up, everything going up. Our water's prices are going up. Why? Because of the policies that are happening in California and are spreading like wildfire to other states. No, we're going to stop big pharma, or not big pharma, big agriculture, they say. There's a big profit to be made. It's always about that, but it always puts more, they use that as an excuse. Yes, of course, that does exist, but they use that as an excuse to say, oh, more power to the government, give the government, so the government becomes the all-powerful monster, really powerful. Not good, never good for the American people. And you know what? This has happened before, many times there in California. Let me go back to the year 2015, right? 2015, here it is, this article. San Diego Union Tribune, California wasting water due to fish and inefficiency, right? We have forget the missing rainfall, Wall Street Journal. California, where's the Delta smelt? Guided by bad science, regulators are flushing away millions of gallons of water to protect a 3-inch little fish. Little fish, little fish. Forget humans. It's like, we don't matter. I mean, I know about their depopulation agenda and all. So what does Newsom do? What is his law and what is he passing to help with the water crisis? Well, let's go back to that California Globe article here. And this is very important, people, very important. This is our water supply. Very, very huge. But it goes on to explain Gavin Newsom's water-related budget proposals, right? Gavin Newsom, liberal leftist, recent $5.1 billion drought response package. Sounds great. He's going to help with the drought. But how does he do that? Well, this drought package is not going to be used to create water abundance. Instead, about $1 billion is going to be used to pay off unaffordable water bills that were made too expensive. Because of the water crisis and the fact that they're putting it in the seas. When water restrictions are imposed, supplier revenues fall, they have fixed costs to deliver water and must raise rates as a result. Oh, there it is. Rates go up when there's shortages of water. That's what's happening, folks. And it gets even worse. And here's the thing. I'm all for helping the fish, but not at the sake of humanity, right? Of course, there has to be some kind of happy medium. But I mean, for example, helping little bitty fish, I mean, really? Dumping precious water that we, the American people, need? Maybe on our good years, we start working on that in abundance. But anyway, here's his budget package, right? He gets specific on this. And this is how bad his packages are. He's literally attempting to dismantle the farmers. $500 million will be spent on incentives for farmers to repurpose their land. Instead, make it a natural habitat or somewhere that we could put solar panels, says Newsom. $500 million to that. So if a farmer wants to repurpose the land, they'll give him some kind of money to do that. In other words, give the land to the government or let us take it over, repurpose it. We don't need it for food. Wait, what? We do need food. We do need food. $60 million is going to go to the State Water Efficacy and Enhancement Program to help farmers reduce their immigration use. Reduce your use. $300 million. And I'm really going to just kind of brief through these, right? So $300 million is going to help to ensure favorable responses from farmers to, again, land repurposing, another land repurpose effort. Then we have $230 million that's going to go towards wildlife and fish passage products. How does that help the water crisis? Then we have $33 million, again, going to protect and conserve ecosystems of fishery and wildlife. Then we have $200 million, again, going to habitat restoration. To his whole package. Literally poops on our food supply and says, forget the humans, help the fish. Isn't there like a happy medium, But that's not all, right? On top of everything that's going on in the state of California, there are massive droughts that are hitting the entire western part of America. Here we have USA Today. West drought has no end in sight. If we do nothing, it's going to be really bad. That's recent article here, USA Today, and you can see the date on this, right? June 19th. All of these are recent, within the last couple of weeks to week, right? And then we have KK.com, ABC.com. The American West is drying out. Things are going to get ugly. Then we have Discover.com. Droughts and overuse of water push the Western U.S. across a scary threshold. Then we have 25 million people are relying on water from Lake Mead, and it's drying up. That's boingboing.net. And then we have here ABC4.com. Salt Lake City enters stage 2 of water shortage response. First time since 2004. TheGuardian.com. Mega disappearing wells here in Arizona, and Arizona's deepening water crisis. Things in Arizona are drying up. And then we have here, this is a bombshell, Esquire.com. We're inching towards actual violence over access to water. But don't worry. They're going to take care and pour millions, tens and millions of dollars towards to help the wildlife. But hey, never mind the fact that we're inching towards water wars. We're inching towards massive amounts of food supply being exploded price-wise. Because when there are shortages, that's what's happening. That's what happens. Welcome to a third world country here in the United States of America. That is absolutely the direction they want to bring us in. And look, by the way, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns on all of this. Please check your subscription here on YouTube. YouTube removes people on a daily basis. I have talked to many of you, and they have removed, I don't know, hundreds to thousands of people, and they repeatedly do it. So please check your subscription and make sure you have that little bell check so you get the notifications. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.